back to my channel. My name is Sin and this is the child Bella. I was thinking of making this specific video kind of like a video format for my podcast because I do have a podcast, and when I started it, it was supposed to be like a daily thing. I could do it in like 10 to 15 minutes every single day, just something to kind of keep me on track with content creation and just to follow my journey through film school. And I think I wanted this to be like an update slash comeback, I want to say, like update slash comeback. That being said, I don't know what episode this would be. I'd have to look through my podcast list. I don't know why I keep looking over there. I was actually in the theater department at my school, and when COVID hit, I took a hiatus and then I took a gap year to really just kind of like reevaluate what I really wanted to study in school. I always told myself like I'd never pay for a bachelor's degree if I wasn't really passionate about that career. So when COVID hit and I couldn't perform in theaters anymore, I couldn't do like live performances, I realized like I don't really like acting for the camera. And I was on a couple film sets, and we shot some shorts, and me and my friends got together. Yeah, I realized acting wasn't for me. I know a lot of people, like, they come out to LA and they think like if they come out for acting and they don't end up being like Angela Bassett like level famous, like they didn't make it. But I feel like a very honest part of the journey is realizing that's not for you, because to be completely honest, the life of an actor is so hard. The crazy hours you're on set, you're away from your family, you're probably shooting on location somewhere like in Europe, like it's very demanding. And also, not to keep harping on this, but you have to also think about like the emotional implications of acting and tapping into all those emotions. Just a lot. It takes so much to be an actor, and for you to realize early on that not what you want to do, kudos to you. That's what happened to me. I realized I loved performing on a stage and like live performances, so I really liked theater. Theater was really fun for me. But when COVID shut us down, I realized I liked it more like as a hobby. Like I couldn't see myself doing it as a career. So I took a gap year, really reflected, and realized like I had been directing for a while, like in middle school and high school, and even as a little kid, like I'd always been directing and shooting things like on flip phones, and like just I've always been directing. So I don't know what got into my head that like I could be an actor. I don't know, but it definitely did help with my self-confidence, my self-esteem for sure. It got me out of my comfort zone, and it really kind of helped me grow in a way. So I don't regret the time I put into acting. And it also, as a director, really helps me communicate with actors, especially on set. I feel like sometimes a lot of the miscommunication is because the directors don't know how to properly ask something of their actors. And especially as an actor that's probably trained, they feel a little bit like on set, they probably feel a little bit like the director is being condescending or like rude or like just bossy, because they don't have like an actor's training, so they don't know what an actor goes through to kind of give a performance. So I feel like also on that side, it was very beneficial for me now that I'm on the other side of the camera and I have like the language to communicate with actors. So I love that. What I wanted to say also about acting, when I was a theater student, I was cast, before my gap year, I was cast for a student film. Being on set really kind of awoke me to the fun and like all the control, the creative control the director has. And so going into when I changed my major, I had already known like some of the professors and some of the crew members that work on campus. So I met a lot of people that when I transitioned into directing was a very like seamless transition, and they saw my work as an actress. They loved working with me. So when I then changed my major and went into the cinema department on campus, it felt like I never left. Like I wasn't changed my major, it just felt like I wasn't, continuing my education. So that was really cool. And last semester, one of my professors was asking for scripts because my school, or specifically that professor, had applied for a grant, and if the grant is awarded to us, then the money from the grant is what funds the ultimate production of the student films. I submitted a script that I kind of just had. I'd written a script. It took me about a week to write. The script took me about a week to write, and it was based on like a lot of personal experience with like dating and like this one specific date I went on that kind of just changed the way the way I looked at dating. It was just very raw. I've written a couple scripts before, but I've never had formal training, and I've never taken like a screenwriting class. So I just willy-nilly submitted it, and this semester, during spring semester, I got this email from my professor that the script that I submitted was one of the scripts that they wanted to, work on and develop to then ultimately greenlight and produce this semester. So your girl was very, very ecstatic. I was so happy. The journey has been just rewrites. It's just been writers' meetings, rewrites, lots and lots and lots of notes, considering I have absolutely no formal training in screenwriting. I literally just wrote a script about my life. And then there's a specific story we're trying to tell, which is, I don't want to give too much away because I definitely want people to watch it when it comes out. And our goal with these shorts is to get them to festivals. And what I want people to really get from this film is just like, I want them to be inspired. I don't want them to pity the character. Just inspiring story of like bravery and courage and picking yourself up after you've fallen down. Because how many of us have not like given something a shot and failed miserably and then didn't want to do it again, but then finding the courage from within ourselves, from those around us that love us, from maybe prominent public figures, and they kind of just give us the courage to try again. And on the other side of that bravery and courage is an amazing experience. So that's what I want people to kind of get from that film. Is just, I just want people to be inspired to like get up and try. When people create art, they want people to feel something, they want people to leave with something, and that's what I want people to leave with when they see this film. I also want to be very, very honest about the fact that it is very lonely, and I understand that because I want to be like a successful director, like the work is in LA, even if, because I just learned this from our last assignment, even if it's shot somewhere else, like we're talking about like Breaking Bad, and Breaking Bad was predominantly shot in like New Mexico because of like the tax incentives, but it was greenlit, and the people that are above the line, so like the producers, directors, the main cast, they were hired in LA. So like even if a production isn't shot in LA, it starts in LA. So if you want to be considered for work, especially like as a director, like this is where you kind of have to be. Even if you turn out to be like Spielberg or like Tarantino, and then decide to move somewhere else where like work is guaranteed just because your last name is big. Like I don't have that luxury yet. Like this is kind of where I have to be right now, where I'm trying to get my degree in LA. It's just hard because my family's not here. Because LA is known to like chew people up and spit them out. A lot of people don't last like even a year. It's not for the weak. And I'm just like at a really weird, lonely place because like who else is in the exact same spot as me? Like who else is just starting their shit? Most people started their shit back in 2020. Most people started TikTok when TikTok just came out. Like, and I understand I can't compare. Like everyone is going through their own thing and like their own journey. But it's just, I would be lying if I didn't say that sometimes it gets to me. Like I understand there's so many statistics out there that like try to make you feel better about starting later in life. Like KFC guy, the Colonel didn't start KFC until he was like in his 80s or something. Kim Kardashian didn't really start like pop off until she was in her 30s, because even at like in her late 20s she was like Paris Hilton's like assistant. Everyone keeps telling me I have all the time in the world, but it's a little hard to just be patient and like when you're in the middle of it. Like I feel like I'm in the season where I just started my garden, right? Like I just started planting seeds, and like I'm expecting trees, but like deep down inside, like I know it takes years. Things take time, and I'm trying to be patient, but I'm also not trying to invalidate my feelings when I have bad days. Like no one else is in this bedroom with me seeing all the work I put in. Like if I film this video and then spend 5 hours editing it, like no one sees that. They just see the video. So yeah, I'm just having one of those hard days where it's hard to be like inspired and motivated. And something my professor said to me, he was just basically saying like, you're doing a good job. Like for someone who has no prior training with screenwriting, like don't think you're not. Like you meet your deadlines, and every time we give you notes, like you meet them. Like even though we're like nitpicking and fine tuning, it's because we see real potential in the work, and we really want to see this be produced and made and then screened at festivals. Like that's what we see, because right now in pre-production, even before we're greenlit, like you're putting in the work. So don't ever think like you're doing a bad job, because you're actually doing fantastic. I think I just have to believe him. I kind of rambled. I hope I updated people, and I hope I can keep this going, just being consistent and build community. And I hope you guys like this enough. I'm definitely gonna start having guests, because I know my energy with other people is gonna be even better. But for now, just me sitting in my room is what I can do right now, because also scheduling and coordinating with people can sometimes be a headache. So with all that being said, thank you so much for tuning in and spending this time with me. I really appreciate it. And I hope to see you next time on my next episode. Until then, bye.